I wonder if it was a COVID pandemic thing. There seems to be this real flood of nostalgia now and
Yeah.
collecting and coming out to meet people. It feels very like the last few years have been very good to your generation of talent from that perspective.
Yeah, they've been really good. Yeah, especially to our generation. It's a crazy thing that now, of course, when WWE brings out their main talent, and I think they did something at the Javits Center in New York,
Mhm.
it's going to be a huge deal. But for some reason, unless you're bringing a top 10 person from one of the two big companies, they're not going to do as well as they think a lot of the time, and they didn't have that post generational pull that people from my era did. I mean, I'm really lucky, and I'm lucky that a lot of the guys on top of that wave, like Steve Austin, Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, they're not doing these shows. Like Undertaker will come out and do a show, but it's considerable. And so,
He's too busy taking over YouTube, isn't he, these days?
yeah, yeah.
The
And the
world's most
Undertaker
prized
experience,
YouTuber.
because of the mass, the interest, the interactions aren't that long, and so I'm not saying I wouldn't rather be in his shoes and be doing that, but as long as I'm not in those shoes, I'll take what I have is like it's a little less frantic, much more relaxed. You get more time with each person. Everybody has that time when they look like lonely Virgil. That's just a fact, that
Yeah.
no one should be ridiculed for not having a line, because if you're there for 24 hours over the course of 3 days, at a certain point, you don't have a line. As long as you get a little trickle coming in. But I love doing these things. It gives me a chance to keep up with the fans, interact with I saw Trish and Lita last week. And then sometimes you're sitting next to, had a chance to sit next to Michaela Jill Murphy, who voiced Toph on the Last Airbender. And so, she keeps sending people over with the merchandise she signs with the Toph versus Boulder. She made me a couple extra grand that week. So it's a lot of fun to see who you end up hanging out with. Some fun interactions, getting to meet movie stars that you enjoy, things of that nature. But I do enjoy the cons.
When I had Victoria on the show, she said to me that she has to just stay at her table because if she starts walking around the Comic Con, she'll spend more than she earns.
That's the way it goes. I used to do that. I used to come home with something for my kids every time. But now, if it's a busy con, you don't have a chance to do that. The only good thing about a not so busy con is you do have more chance to hang around and meet people. And that's one of the things I was appreciated when I was at Pensacola Con. They call it Pensacon. About 7 years ago, Nita Strauss was doing a signing, and it wasn't really that crowded. So I had a chance to meet her and her now husband Josh, and we spent a lot of time together. We hit it off. We went to dinner, things that we could not have done if we'd been rocking that day. So there is something to be said for not rocking. Although all things considered, I'd rather be rocking. Yeah, if I
Yeah.
had the choice, I'd rather be rocking.